Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Eaglemoss review. And today on the table, we're going to be going on the way back machine to look at issue number 12, which is the USS Thunderchild, aka the Akira class. Actually, not really aka, it is the Akira class. It is a ship from the Akira class, and we're going to be taking a look. And so I did take a look at the Akira class earlier, but it was the XL edition. I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to check out that review, because that is a very cool ship in its own right. But the standard model is very cool as well, so I thought we should definitely dedicate an episode to that, especially since it's just a little bit over a year since I did its XL version. So this has been in storage, so it has been in the box. We'll take a quick look at the box, and it is pretty typical to Eaglemoss boxes. You can see the ship from the top in the plastic. Let them plastic talking. Yo, I don't have the stand in here. I will tell you why in a few minutes. And then of course we have the big four of Star Trek. This was before Discovery had come out, and then Star Trek on the side. You got some legal mumbo jumbo here. Recommended age 14 plus, and then you got StarTrek.com, and that's pretty much it for the box. And of course, we'll start with the magazine, which is typically what we start with, and we have a nice underbelly shot of the Akira class of the nice deflector glowing. Looks really cool. Star Trek: The Official Starships Collection. It's the USS Thunderchild, NCC 63549. It is an Akira class, launched in the 2370s with a length of 464.43 meters, so exact, at a max speed of warp 9.8. And we'll open up the magazine. This is where we get all of the nice nitty-gritty information about the ship. Profile Akira class, designing the ship, creating the CGI Akira class, and on screen there, of course, we have our stand instructions off to the side, and then we have a nice frontal orthographic view of the Akira class. It is an Akira class constructed in the Antares Fleet Yards in the late 24th century with a length of 464.43 meters, a crew of 500, and a top speed of warp 9.8. It had weapon pods with multiple launchers, plus saucer-mounted launchers and phaser strips and all that good stuff. And then, of course, we have a nice shot of the bridge area. Then, of course, we have the deflector and the bottom of the ship. And that is it for the front of the magazine. And then if we move on to the next page, my thoughts got a little jumbled there. We have a nice side shot, like an orthographic side shot of the Akira class. Looks really good. Love the glow from the warp coil area of the nacelles. The Akira class was in service in the late 24th century and saw action in conflicts with the Borg and the Dominion. There we have an Akira class from First Contact, I believe. Yes, that is the Thunderchild, firing torpedoes at the Borg cube. And then, of course, we have a few more shots, mainly from the Battle of Sector 001. And then, of course, this is from the Voyager episode where Seven had to go back in time to stop the bomb on Voyager. From the USS, the episode Relativity. That's right, that was the episode. And then, of course, we have my favorite part of the magazine, the orthographic views, which show all those cool nitty-gritty views of the ship. Of course, as I stated in my XL review, the Akira class was the ship that got the most attention from the First Contact fleet, next to the Enterprise, of course. And then we have a nice animated shot of the Akira class right there, looking really good. Again, this ship just looks good from multiple angles. It's an absolutely beautiful vessel. Then, of course, we have a top-mounted view of the Akira class, one very detailed and one not so much detailed. Then, of course, we have our shuttle bay area towards the aft of the ship. And then, of course, we have some nice close-up views of the ship. And then we have some more orthographic views of the Akira class. We have the weapon pod area for the ship. And then, of course, we have more orthographic views. Again, just it looks really good. There's just so much going on. It just looks like a different ship from every angle that you look at it. And then, of course, we have kind of a mesh view of the ship, looking really good. Don't believe there was ever a studio model of the ship, but feel free to correct me in the comments if you know otherwise. And then, of course, we have a spot from the Dominion War, which we started to see the Akira class on television. And then, of course, we have a nice upper orthographic view of the Akira class. And let's get our ship out of the box. So, of course, these are all pretty typical. We're just going to pull out the plastic right here. We'll put the box off to the side. And then you just pull up on the plastic and you can pull out. The ship is held into a little nub inside the plastic right there. And let's take the plastic off to the side. And, of course, this is one of those stands that was a bit wobbly, so I did end up having to glue it. And you're just going to bring the stand up. You're going to put the jaws in. And as long as you don't touch it too much, this should stay up. Just like that. Let me get the actual my little acrylic stand so you can get a good head-on view of the ship. And that is so much better. And it looks like it's going off into outer space. But let's take a look at the Akira class. And straight away, this ship has a good weight to it, especially for a standard model in the collection. A lot of these early models really had a nice weight to them. So definitely probably a little bit of metal inside the saucer, outlined by plastic, but looks really, really good. Again, tons of detail on here. Just has a kind of a more gray and some dark grays in there. You got some dark gray panels, and they're all extruded. Looks really, really good. Again, same thing with around the bridge area. You got the bridge area nice and extruded. Just looks so well armored. And then come outside again, you got more of that paneling. You got tons of windows off to the side, and you got the escape pods molded in there, looking really nice. NCC 63549, a little bit jumbled, but you can't tell from 2 feet away, so it doesn't even matter. But again, just such a detailed saucer section. And then coming up on the side, you have United Federation of Planets put in there with the Federation pennant. That looks really good. More paneling up on the catamaran. This is the catamaran design, I believe. That's the design language that they call it for this ship. And then coming back onto the nacelle pylons, you again have more of that molded detailing. You have like some kind of conduit detailing right here. It kind of looks like lightning. It looks really, really good. Again, more paneling. Moving on to the back weapon pod, you got more of that paneling right there, and it's a bit of a darker gray all around the weapon pod. Looks really good. I love how this is molded, and just these nice features. It just looks really flawless, really properly done. Moving on to the nacelles, again, you got some molded detail up toward the Bassard collector. Get a little bit of a gap between the Bassard collector and the rest of the warp nacelle, but overall it doesn't look too terrible. Just kind of push that in. There it goes. And you can see it's done in a nice red clear plastic. The nacelle warp coil area done in a clear blue plastic, and it's got like some little ribs on there just to give it some little extra pop and detail. You got some Aztecing back here, looking really good. Again, more of that NCC 63549. Then if we come to the bottom, again, you know, got more of that paneling detail along the bottom of the saucer, all around the outside of the saucer. You got little escape pods out here, really well done. Again, all the escape pods molded very nicely. You got the pennant molded all the way around the deflector area. Even the deflector has clear blue plastic, which looks really sharp on a model of this size. I can't emphasize how premium this model feels, especially for one this size. And then if we go back again, even the bottom of the ship, very nicely detailed. You're never going to look down here, but you get all this molded detail, just even along the catamaran pylons, towards the nacelle pylons, lots of molded detail right here. Even on the inside of the nacelles, you get more of that molded detail into here. Same thing back here, kind of like a exhaust vent or something like that. Just looks really good. A little bit of nacelle gap here, but I'm not too worried about that, again, for a model of this size. And if we look head on, doesn't look like any alignment issues, and maybe a smidge ones, maybe just depending on how I look at it. But either way, I can't tell. Let's get a look at the back, and nah, I think we are pretty. If there is, it's very minute and hard to tell. But again, it just looks super good all around, and it feels really nice and premium too. As far as comparisons go, we are just going to do one, the only one that matters, and because it's been a while, we'll bring in the Big Mama, the XL Akira class, which I think is just as cool for very different reasons. And you can tell the standard size Akira class fits almost inside the saucer of the XL. Both ships just feel absolutely premium. Let's get a look at the side view right there, and you can see how that looks. There we go. and you can just see how they look together. And then we'll get it, hold on, let me change because it's very awkward to hold all these ships, and we will get it from the front so you can see how that looks. And again, you know, no matter which one you go with, they're both really superb models in their own respective rights. Oh hell, just get them both, and that's pretty much it for our comparisons. So let's summarize, and there we have it for the Eaglemoss official Star Trek Starships collection, USS Thunderchild, the Akira class. And yeah, this is another story of an oldie but a goodie. It's got a really nice solid weight, tons of nice detailing in areas that you wouldn't even expect, detailing areas that you are never ever going to look at 90% of the time, but they did it, they put it there, and the ship looks all the more glorious for it. Again, this is one of those ships that it was never a hero ship. It never actually had any super prominent screen time. It was in a few scenes in the Battle of Sector 001, some shots in Deep Space Nine, and had a little bit of a cameo in Voyager. But overall, this was a background ship, and just the cult following that this ship has received has given it an XL model and a really fine standard Eaglemoss model. And if you are a fan of the ship, I do highly recommend it. If you are a fan of the Sector of 001 ships, I do highly recommend it. If you are a fan of Federation ships or just cool ships in general, definitely I highly recommend this ship. Now I'll put a link to master replicas down in the description below. I haven't looked for this ship in a while, but I will take a look for it. If I do find it, I'll put a link directly to this ship. You can check them out and pick up one for yourself, and I do definitely recommend this. Or if you can find the XL, I definitely recommend this. I usually never say this, but if you have to pay a little more for the XL, I do feel like it is worth it. It does have the feel and the detailing to be a really superb model on your shelf. And that being said, that is going to conclude this review. Now, if you found this review fun and informative, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. That helps me out, and I do greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I urge you to join my Federation and subscribe to the FC Finch channel. I do Eaglemoss quite regularly, almost weekly on here, and I'll put my playlist down below so you can check that out. And definitely you want to stick around for more. Thank you so much to those of you that are already part of the FC Finch family. And that said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.